Hello. Welcome. Have a seat. I'm so glad that you could join us here today. Now, as you see, we have come onto a bit of a predicament. It appears that after being left alone for a mere 24 hours, Julian Thornsbury has managed to accomplish his mother's worst nightmare. Now, unfortunately, this story is only partly about Julian and the unfortunate events of the house burning down. It is also about Julian's lovely neighbor, Delilah McGilligot, who, as it turns out, Julian was in love with. Delilah McGilligot has been Julian's neighbor since the ripe age of 12. From the first time he saw her, he knew that she was going to be the one. It might have been something about the way she sneezed, or the way she instantly pushed her hair back behind her ear. He couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was, but he knew that it was perfect. Ever since that first day, Julian Thornsbury has been trying to get Delilah's attention. He'd tried flowers, sending her love letters. He'd even purposefully thrown his frisbee into her front yard. Scandalous. None of these had worked, so Julian had decided that it was time for something a bit more extravagant. Using the 24-hour window of aloneness to his advantage, he came up with 3 options. Number 1. Learn Morse code and set up an our-townish system to help Delilah with her summer reading. Number 2. Build a slide from the top of the roof and invite Delilah over to try it. Or number 3. Send heart-shaped smoke signals to tell Delilah of his infinite love. Option 1 was ruled out because summertime is not for learning or intellectual stimulation, so Julian simply could not learn Morse code. Option 2 was ruled out because summertime is not for moving or energy expenditure, so Julian could not find the energy to build a giant slide. Seeing that options 1 and 2 were both ruled out, Julian moved on to option 3, smoke signals. So he found the matches, and learned the basics of smoke signaling, and made a plan. First, he was to set up all of the basic fire-making equipment on the right side of his house. Then he was to run over and quickly knock on the door of the McGilligot household. Theoretically, he should have had the attention of Delilah. But little did he know, he did not have one sliver of attention from Delilah McGilligot. This was partially due to the fact that nobody was actually occupying the McGilligot household. But, as I previously mentioned, Julian did not know this fact and proceeded to start a miniature fire on the right side of his family's home. He had learned from the readings that a plethora of grass and leaves would cause enough smoke for smoke signals. He decided that heart cookie cutters would probably suffice to shape the smoke into lovely little hearts. Julian was surprised that his makeshift fire would not produce heart-shaped signals, but something else came to surprise him: the wind. By the time the fire had fully fledged and swallowed the house, one person had arrived back at their home. One very important person, in fact. Delilah McGilligot. And in this moment of Julian Thornsbury's sheer panic, he turned around to find Delilah, terrified. And for that moment only, the world was fully at peace. All wars stopped. People realized the stupidity in fighting. Donald J. Trump shut his mouth. Julian Thornsbury was living in absolute euphoria, all because of one singular human, Delilah McGilligan. Please join us next week to hear about the tale of a man trying to act like a whale and swimming in the open ocean just to attract the attention of the female dolphin that he had fallen in love with. Thank you. Have a nice day.
That was perfect. Cut.
Lovely.
Yay!